All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the City of Reading Zoning Hearing Board Monthly Meeting for Wednesday, July the 9th, 2025. I'm going to introduce the members of the board first. Jared,
Jared Bartz, member of the board.
Tom,
Tom Fox, member of the board.
Jeff,
Jeff Catone, member of the board.
Charlie.
Charlie Jones, member of the board.
I'm Phil Rabina. I'm a member of the board and the chairperson. Emily,
Emily Diaz-Melendez with the zoning office.
Steve.
Steve Price, solicitor to the board.
Okay, thank you. We have one decision to render from last month's meeting, and that is Appeal 25050016. It involved 325 South 12th Street. Mr. Price.
Is there a motion to approve the relief requested subject to the conditions set forth in the written decision?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Are there any questions or comments on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed? Ayes have it, unanimous.
Okay, thank you. All right, we have 6 appeals this evening, so we really want to stay on target. The first appeal is 2505-0017, 408 North 9th Street. Fernando Trezvera Jr. is seeking a special exception approval for a change from one non-conforming use to a multi-service use to another non-conforming use retail. In the alternative, the applicant is seeking a variance to use the property for a retail use. The property is located in the R3 residential zoning district, and the owner of record are Victor Ramos and Jose Brioso. All right. Would you swear in our zoning officer, please?
Emily, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? I do. Thank you.
Okay, has notice for this appeal been given?
It has.
Thank you. Mr. Price.
Thanks. I'll put some exhibits into the record. Exhibit number 1 is the notice. Exhibit number 2 is proof of publication of the notice. Exhibit number 3 is proof of posting of the notice. Exhibit number 4 is the application, including all of its attachments. And exhibit number 5 is the zoning ordinance of the city of Reading as amended.
Okay, thank you. I see Fernando is here. Do you want to unmute yourself, Fernando?
Yes,
Okay, would you swear him in, please?
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I swear.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Do you have an attorney or are you going to do your own presentation?
I'm gonna do my own presentation.
Okay,
Let me ask a couple of basic questions. I noticed that Mr. Ramos and Mr. Brioso own the property. Have they given you permission to request this relief?
Yes, actually, Mr. Billoso is next to me right here.
Okay. And are you operating the multi-service center there now?
No,
Who's operating that, do you know?
no one is renting the place out right now.
Do you know when it closed?
You,
They moved.
a
They
month,
moved another location. When they closed, like 3 months ago.
about 3 months ago.
All right. How many parking spaces do you have to the rear of that property? Well, maybe,
4, by Gail?
9.
9.
okay.
Sorry, I
And
wanted to be accurate.
what would the nature of the retail business be?
The nature would be basically to provide the city of Reading a new place where I could get employment for people that need employment. What?
Well, the question is, are you gonna sell candy?
Oh.
Are you gonna sell beer? Are you gonna sell toys? What are you gonna sell there?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna sell clothes. I'm gonna sell bedding. I'm gonna sell shoes. I'm gonna sell toys, and I'm gonna sell some electronics as well.
What's the square footage of the area that you want to convert to retail?
¿Cuánto pide?
Como 1,900 pesos.
1,900 square foot.
All right, and how many employees would you have?
Starting, I'm gonna have one, then I'm probably gonna hire like two more afterwards,
And what would your hours of operation be?
from 9 to 7,
7 days a week?
6 days a week,
So not on Sundays?
not on Sundays.
All right. And describe the 400 block of North 9th Street. Is it all residential or are there other businesses there?
There's a multi-service business close by. There's I believe a supermarket not too far as well. And there's a grocery store as well.
So
And I believe there's a barber shop nearby as well.
so you'd say it's kind of a mixed use there?
Yeah,
And have you, do you live in that neighborhood?
not in this neighborhood, no.
Has anybody come up to you since this property was posted and complained about your proposed use of it?
No,
And you understand that you'd have to comply with all the other ordinances in the city of Reading or the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania to open this store. You have to get the appropriate licenses and inspections.
Yeah.
I don't have any other questions.
Okay, does any member of the board have any questions at this time?
No.
All right,
No.
seeing none. Does anybody in the audience have any questions? Just question. All right, seeing none. Anybody want to testify for or against the granting of this application? Seeing none. Is there anything else you gentlemen would like to add to your presentation? If not, then I'm going to close the hearing and we will issue a decision to you next month.
not at this time.
Okay, Emily, do you have any comments you would like to make? Alright.
We wouldn't object to the change of use to retail.
Okay, thank you. All right, that closes this appeal. We thank you all for your participation. And as I said, the decision will be issued next month. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, the next matter before us is Appeal 2506-0018, 1200 North 12th Street. The Reading School District is The Reading School District is seeking a dimensional variance from the maximum building coverage. The property is located in the R3 residential zoning district, and the owner of record is the applicant. Would you swear in our zoning officer, please?
Emily, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Thank you. Has notice for this appeal been given?
Oh, sorry, it has.
Okay, thank you. All right, Steve?
Thanks. I'll put some exhibits into the record. Exhibit number 1 is the notice. Exhibit number 2 is proof of posting of the notice. Exhibit number 3 is proof of publication of the notice. Exhibit number 4 is the application, including all of its attachments. And exhibit number 5 is the zoning ordinance of the city of Reading as amended. I think Attorney Callan is representing the school district. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, Mr. Price. Good
Do you
evening.
want to enter your appearance, please?
Sure. Ronald P. as in Paul Callion, Kalyan Jr. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Fox Rothschild, Rothschild. Offices in Exton, Pennsylvania, and I'm here representing the appellant and the applicant Reading School District.
You wanna, do an offer of proof?
Sure. This evening I have two witnesses to present in support of the application. First witness is our expert, Aristides Otero, and he is going to be testifying as to some of the specifics of the plan, taking the board for a walk through the site and the proposed improvements. And then he's also going to provide testimony in support of the applicant meeting the requirements for a variance under applicable law. And he'll-
Can we
and
have
he'll
him
exp-
sworn in at this time, please?
Sure. And then the second, if I may, the second witness will be Mr. Wayne Garris, the CFO of the Reading School District. And for the sake of brevity, I anticipate having him adopt Mr. Otero's testimony in significant part as his own, and to also provide some amplification on the requirements for the variance, and also provide the board with a more detailed explanation as to the need and functionality of the proposed improvements.
Okay.
Well, do you wanna walk the board through that, and then if there are questions of the witnesses, the board can ask them if you're familiar with the project?
Well, there are certain specifics. I think the testimony will come off better if I have the witnesses provide the testimony. It shouldn't take long, and particularly Mr. Garris has, some specifics on the, the need and educational programmatic specifics that it's more appropriate, I think, for him to get into a little more detail.
Okay,
that's
then let's
fine.
get them sworn in.
Sure.
Can you-
We'll have Mr. Otero. I was going to put Mr. Otero on first, unless you want to hear from Mr. Garris first.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, Mr. Otero, you can be sworn in.
Okay. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Mr. Otero, could you please provide your full name for the record?
Sure. I'll say it and then I'll spell it for our typing friend here. Aristides I. Otero. That's Aristides. Last name Otero, Otero.
And what is your home address?
My home address is 26 Hearthstone Drive in Exeter.
And where
Reading.
are you currently employed?
I work for Wilkinson Design Group, our head office in Pottstown.
And what is your position there?
Senior project manager.
And how long have you been in that position?
Well, I'll keep it brief. I've been a senior project manager since probably 2009 with Stackhouse Bensinger that was acquired by Wilkinson Design Group in 2022. So with Wilkinson Design Group for the past 3 years in that role.
And what are your duties in that role?
I oversee land development projects of a variety of types, whether they're small.
We'll recognize him as an expert in land development.
Thank you. That was my next question. I believe he's been acknowledged as an expert before this board. I'd like him recognized as expert in landscape architecture, site design, and land planning, if that's
Sure.
okay with the board and you, council.
That's fine.
That's fine.
Thank you. Mr. Otero, are you familiar with the variance application that is the subject of the hearing this evening?
Yes.
And how long have you been involved with the project?
Since its inception, I believe we had been brought on board after some architectural conceptual drawings were developed. And we've been working with the architect and the school district to submit for a zoning permit. That followed our initial one-stop meeting with the city to get some guidance and feedback. At that stage, submitted our zoning permit application, which was denied, and we're here now with the appeal for the one variance.
And are you familiar with the project site?
Yes.
And are you familiar with the neighborhood surrounding the project site?
Yes.
And have you actually visited the project site?
Yes.
When most recently?
Probably last week I was down there taking a look at that particular view, in
Great,
fact.
great. Okay, Mr. Price, I provided you with some exhibits that we are going to present this evening. I'm sure, how would you like to handle? We could do a share screen on the plan. Or, you can do the share screen.
Everybody has the copy of the plans.
Yes.
Okay, it would just be a clearer view of the plans. Mr. Otero, if you could just walk the board through the proposed improvements and the plan that's attached to the application. I think that would be helpful for the board to understand the project.
Sure. So north is up here and 12th Street's on the right side. That divides actually two school district properties. The one obviously we're talking about here, which is 12th and Marion Elementary School. Across 12th Street is the Northeast Middle School. It's an existing, this particular project is an existing elementary school. It's been in use by the district for many decades, fully developed. If you saw some of the street view there on the northern end where we're proposing building expansion is currently a surface parking lot that right there. That does have a decent number of off-street parking spaces. However, they are not compliant with dimensional standards within the city. If you're looking at that photo there, there's a small grass strip separating the existing parking with a paved asphalt and playground area. If we can go back to our plan. So the intent is on the western corner, we would expand the building basically from the first floor up to the north, and that would allow parking to occur beneath. And our plan proposes revising that surface parking to meet dimensional standards by the city of Reading. And then also attached to that, you can see to the northeast corner, there's an expansion of parking there that's not under building. That gets us back up in off-street on-site parking numbers. Other items that are within the existing site in proximity or just south of that proposed surface lot, there are a bunch of, what would you call them? Like modular buildings that are in varying stages of decay. Those all come out, and that's generally the idea, is to get rid of those that are either dilapidated or not really ideal, expand the existing building footprint and provide that for the school. It's an existing school, so.
And Mr. Otero, if you could just explain for the board the non-compliance issue with building coverage.
Sure. So per our zoning application, we received the denial based on the percentage of building coverage. Go back through, I think
Well, is the building currently compliant with building coverage?
yes, it's compliant. We're at 45%, and the R3 district, we're permitted up to 50%.
And with the proposed improvements, what does the building coverage equate to?
Roughly 60%. So we'd be increasing.
Okay. And now that's with building coverage. However, is the property compliant with overall impervious coverage?
So the existing impervious coverage is actually in excess of the ordinance. I think the ordinance permits 75%. The existing site is at 82%.
So it's a non-conforming use.
Yeah, there's a
It's not
slight
conforming.
expansion, but yeah, it's a pre-existing.
Correct. And has the city zoning office confirmed in writing that no variance is required for impervious coverage because the ordinance allows a 20% increase, and
Yes,
the increase here on impervious coverage falls well short of that?
correct, yes.
And why did you design the proposed improvements in this manner in this particular location?
Again, we were kind of reacting to the architectural, which actually expands that existing first floor. It's kind of hard to tell from the plan view, but the southeast corner sits up a little higher. So that first floor, by the time you get to the west corner where the expansion is, sits well above grade. So the idea was to maximize site use, to allow the parking to occur beneath and not remove additional parking, but also expand the footprint. So it was really, how do we get both an expanded building and not delete on-site parking?
Okay, and now are there any physical peculiarities to the site that affect the district's ability to comply with the building coverage requirements?
It's a pretty tight lot. I mean, it is an entire block and it is already essentially fully developed and trying to work within the confines of setbacks and site requirements is where we landed.
So, I mean, in your opinion, is it possible to build out any further because
No.
of setback requirements?
No.
So would building out result in needing a variance for setbacks?
Yeah.
And what about building up?
Right, so there are a couple challenges with building up. I believe the architect had looked at that, but I believe that's primarily cost prohibitive. Secondly, if you pan around in this particular area directly across from where this particular photo is, we have residential. So trying to keep things kind of relatively in scale with the surrounding neighborhood was also another reason for not going up, but cost was certainly a major function of that.
And the overall height requirement in the zoning district is
60.
60, and you agree that it would be a challenge, significant challenge to meet that height requirement.
Yeah, yeah,
So you need a height variance as well.
we would need, yeah. And you'd
Understood.
have 2 floors and I think they're about 30.
So in your opinion, is this option the most attractive and least offensive to the zoning requirements? That's possible.
I believe so.
In your opinion, will the variance, if granted, alter the essential character of the neighborhood or zoning district in which the property is located?
No, it's an existing school. We're just expanding the existing school. We're not changing use. We're not increasing traffic at this point, so.
Any impact on aesthetics, in your opinion, other than improving?
Yeah, well, I don't think there's any detrimental aspects as far as appearance. And as you stated, and those older modular buildings are kind of run down. I believe if we haven't entered them already,
Yes.
there's graphics presented by the architect. that-
Yeah, Mr. Price, in the email today, I provided you with some PDFs, like JPEGs of architectural renderings we'd like to have entered.
Sure, they'll be entered as exhibit 6.
If you could just maybe pop those up on the screen to give folks an idea what this is going to look like. These are conceptual
Who, me?
renderings. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that's beyond my ken. I don't know.
capabilities. Okay,
I wasn't
Um,
included on those, so if you have them, you're free to share.
sure. Go through them all. We have 3, and Mr. Garris is going to call these up now.
Right, so this is a view from kind of the northeast looking south down 12th. Where you see that white railing there that will lead from the sidewalk down a ramp and steps to the proposed outdoor play area. To the right of that would be the surface parking lot, but yeah, the building in the background that is being hovered over is the extension of the building.
We're going to go to the next one, maybe.
That's kind of looking north on 12th, and that's the main entrance. Directly across the street there would be Northeast Middle School.
Last.
There. So, right, this is kind of at the northwest corner. You see our surface parking lot in the foreground, and then you can see how the building expansions is elevated above the below building parking that's getting reworked.
Okay. Mr. Otero, in your opinion, will the variances if granted substantially or permanently impact the appropriate use or development of adjacent property?
No.
Do you have any concerns regarding stormwater management?
No, and we'll be going through, we're currently getting testing scheduled for stormwater, and of course, this is a land development project. We'll go through the proper land development review and approval with the city following their stormwater management ordinances and the conservation district submissions for review and approval of permitting. So, no.
And in your opinion, will the variance, if granted, be detrimental generally to the public welfare?
No.
In your opinion, has the hardship here been created by the district?
No.
And in your opinion, is the variance requested the minimum variance that will afford relief and represent the least modification possible to the regulation at issue?
Yeah, that's accurate.
That's all I have for Mr. Otero. Open it up for questions from the public and the board.
All right. Any board members have any questions at this time?
No.
No.
Okay. Emily, any questions?
No questions. I worked closely with the cities prior to the submission, so we kind of worked out all the kinks.
Okay. Mr. Price?
I have none.
All right. Anybody in the audience have any questions of these people? Just questions. All right, seeing none. You can continue, sir, if you have
Sure.
anything else.
Next, I'll just have Mr. Garris provide some brief testimony. If he could be sworn in, we'll get started.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
Thank you.
Can you please state your full name and spell it for the record, Mr. Garris?
Yes, my name is Wayne Garris, WayneGerris.
And what is your home address?
2204 Berkey Drive, Wyomissing.
And where are you currently employed?
I'm employed by the Reading School District.
In what position?
I am the Chief Financial Officer and oversee construction services.
And how long have you served in this role?
Been with the district 11 years.
And are you familiar with the application that's the subject of the variance hearing this evening?
I am.
And how long have you been involved in this particular project?
We've been reviewing the issue with the property and the designing for approximately the last year and a half.
And are you familiar with the project site?
I am.
Are you familiar with the surrounding neighborhood?
I am.
And when was the last time you were on site?
About 4 weeks ago.
And were you present in the last few minutes for the entire testimony provided by Mr. Otero a few minutes ago?
I was.
And if I were to ask you the same questions I posed to Mr. Otero, except for those questions regarding any personal information and qualifications, would you answer those questions the same as Mr. Otero?
Yes.
And accordingly, do you wish to adopt Mr. Otero's testimony in that regard as your own with respect to this hearing?
Yes.
Briefly, in addition to those points, can you just explain for the board the need for this project and the district's rationale for moving forward with it?
Sure. And initially, this started with the review of the modular units that are located on the property that are currently utilized for small group instruction and breakout services for students. Over the last several years, we've had a number of issues with those modular units that have either had water damage or termites, things of that nature that are really deteriorating those units, and evaluated either replacing them or coming up with an alternative option for their use. In addition to that, our cafeteria, gymnasium, and auditorium are one building. And we would like to have a freestanding cafeteria that would allow for scheduling and more opportunities for students to utilize those spaces. So by making these improvements, we would be able to add 8 to 12 additional classrooms, small group instruction, and a standalone cafeteria.
Now, is building the addition on onto the existing facility really the most feasible option here as compared to, say, building a new school somewhere nearby?
It is. There's limited property available within the city. We could obtain some through eminent domain, but we do not want to necessarily go down that avenue. Here we have a property that has availability to make an extension without doing significant harm to other areas of the community.
And is this, in your opinion, option also more cost effective for the taxpayers than any other options that are out there?
From our analysis, yes.
You've heard and adopted Mr. Otero's testimony regarding the school district's hardship in complying with the ordinance regarding the building coverage requirement. Is there anything you'd like to add to that?
One thing to add is that currently the cafeteria that is designed, we believe might be oversized, and we could actually reduce that. So we are going through a plan revision to see what is the minimum and maximum space that we truly need for the students that are enrolled at that location. So we could actually maybe shrink the cafeteria size, which would then reduce the coverage of the property from the building.
Okay, so you would just take that space out as compared to just
Correct.
changing the use of it and keeping the building the same?
Yes, because that would give us an opportunity maybe to have some additional savings on the construction costs as well.
But is it your intent here to ask for the full amount of the variance
As it
in
is.
case?
As it
that
is
doesn't
designed
come-
today is where we're at, because we're not quite sure if the minimum, if the reduction would still be sufficient.
Thank you. Now, is the school district willing to work with the city, through the land development process to address any planning concerns that may arise?
Yes, the district has worked with the planning commission and zoning quite well over the last 5 years, as we've worked on a number of other projects, including our STEM Academy, which is a similar size compared to the lot. A very large project on a very tight lot. We worked well with all of the respective parties to ensure that the safety of the community is at the forefront and collaboration to ensure that we're doing what is appropriate.
And is the district willing to accept reasonable conditions suggested by the zoning hearing board and or the city in connection with this variance?
Yes.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Okay. Any member of the board have any questions of Mr. Garris? Emily?
Nope.
No questions.
Steve?
None.
Okay. Anybody in the audience have any questions of Mr. Garris? All right. Anybody in the audience wish to testify for or against granting this appeal? I see no one. So, gentlemen, unless you have anything else to add, that'll conclude your appeal. We'll make a decision at next month's meeting. And we thank you for your presentation and the documentation you presented to us. And I'd just like to tell you, I started my career in the Reading School District, and I remember when that school was being built. I wound up at 13th and Green. But anyway, and there's a number of us on this board that have positive history with the school district. But we thank you again. Okay. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you. And Mr. Price, I'd just like to move our additional exhibits into evidence, please.
Yeah, they're in.
Thank you.
All right. The next appeal is 2506-0019, 415, 421, and 433 Pearl Street. Reading Tech LLC is seeking a special exception approval to permit a school use technical training program in an existing building. The property is located in the R3 residential zoning district and the Prince Historic District. The owner of record is the Standard Offset Printing Company Incorporated. Would you swear in our zoning officer?
Emily, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Has notice for this appeal been given?
It has.
Thank you. Mr. Price?
Thanks. I'll put some exhibits into the record. Exhibit number 1 is the notice. Exhibit number 2 is proof of publication of the notice. Exhibit number 3 is proof of posting of the notice. Exhibit number 4 is the application, including all of its attachments. And exhibit number 5 is the City of Reading zoning ordinance as amended. This applicant is represented by the law firm of McNeese, Wallace, and Nurek. It says Peter Wirtz, but I thought it was Phil. I'm sorry. Am I right?
Good evening. Yes, this is Phil. Peter Wirtz submitted the application. I'm here on behalf of McNeese and the applicant here tonight.
All right, and we talked earlier in the day, and I said if you wanted to do an offer of proof with respect to this application, the board would be receptive to it. So if you'd like to do that, go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Price, we will make an offer of proof. I will give just a brief introduction and background of the project for the record, and then we will turn it over. We do have representatives from RDG Tech, which is also doing business. That RDG Tech is the real estate holding company for Berks Latino Workforce Development Corporation, which does business as Tech Centro Berks. We have two members of Tech Centro Berks here tonight to answer questions and to offer any witness testimony as may be necessary. John Weidenhammer is here. He is the chair of the real estate holding company, RDG Tech, and the board secretary for Tech Centro Berks. And also here tonight is the executive director of Tech Centro Berks, Violet Emery. So with that, I don't know if you wanted to swear them in case there are questions.
Why don't we swear them all in at one time, and then if you use them, fine, and if we don't need them, that's fine too, but we can keep things moving.
John, why don't we swear you in first?
Can we swear both of them in, Violet as well?
Oh yeah, that works. I think
Okay.
Violet's on, there she is.
Can you both raise your right hands, please? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay, so just a brief introduction and background here, as I mentioned. Tech Centro Berks is a nonprofit corporation that provides workforce and economic development training and occupational training in both the biotech and non-biotech professional development industries. They provide job readiness training and certification programs to residents in Berks County. Tech Centro Berks has operated at 450 South 6th Street in the city since 2021, which is adjacent to the 3 parcels that are the subject of this application here tonight. They have 6 centers that are located across Berks, Lebanon, Lancaster, Dauphin, and York counties. The existing location at 450 South 6th Street, as I mentioned, is adjacent to the 3 parcels that are the subject of tonight's application that the applicant is under an agreement of sale to acquire. Those properties are 433, 421, and 415 Pearl Street, located in the city's R3 residential zoning district and the Prince Historic Overlay District. To facilitate the existing operations at 450 South 6th Street and to accommodate future growth, RDG Tech now desires to extend Tech Centro Berks education services onto the 3 properties contemplated by the special exception application adjacent to the existing location. Some procedural history. On May 14, 2025, RDG Tech submitted a zoning permit application to authorize a public or private school / job training center on the subject properties. The zoning permit was subsequently denied by the city on June 13th, 2025. Because a special exception application was deemed necessary for this project. In the R3 district, public or private schools are permitted to operate pursuant to section 600-804 in compliance with the special exception requirements of the city's zoning ordinance. The operations will include students who are working age adults. There will be approximately 100 students enrolled in the school at any given time. However, they come and go at staggered class times throughout the day. The operations are from Monday through Saturday. The Monday through Thursday operating hours are 8:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday operating hours are from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Tonight, we are here to request an approval of Tech Centro Berks' special exception application to operate a public or private school in the R3 district by special exception. I believe there is an aerial image that was attached to our application. I can also share some exhibits just so the board is oriented to where this is located. I'm happy to share my screen as well. So this is the aerial image here of the property. North is up, and 415 Pearl Street is that northernmost building there. To the south is 433 Pearl Street, which includes two buildings that are together, and then in between is 421 Pearl Street, which is an existing parking lot that is also under the agreement of sale here for Tech Centro Berk's use of the 44 off-street parking spaces. As shown in the aerial images and the R3 district in general, the properties are located in an area that is a mix of residential, commercial businesses, churches, and industrial uses. And the properties, as previously mentioned, are currently owned by Standard Offset Printing Company. Standard Offset Printing Company in the past has used this for industrial and manufacturing purposes until about 10 years ago, at which point they switched to using the properties as their administrative offices. Again, still on the aerial, at the southernmost part of the aerial image are those two buildings that are known as 433 Pearl Street. The two buildings that are shown there will be used for the professional development, training, and education services of the school, as well as administrative offices for Tech Centro Berks. 421 Pearl Street is the off-street parking for the proposed use. It includes 44 off-street parking spaces, which is a significant improvement from the existing locations parking situation, which is located, you can see in this southeast portion of the aerial image. Finally, 415 Pearl Street is improved with an approximately 6,600 square foot warehouse, and that will be used primarily for storage to support the operations. This exhibit, as Mr. Price previously mentioned, has already been offered into the record as an attachment to our full application. We also would just like to note that floor plans were submitted and prepared by Dolan Construction for the properties, and that those have also been included in the application and admitted into evidence here tonight. So under the zoning ordinance, sections 600-1202E of the zoning ordinance that provides specific use criteria for the board to evaluate in determining whether to permit a public or private school use in the R3 district. We adopt the comments made in our narrative to the application in support of the application and as evidence to show why those specific use criteria have been satisfied here. And furthermore, there are general use criteria for all special exception applications in the city that the board is to consider under section 600-1201A of the zoning ordinance. Again, we adopt the full comments made in support of the application in our application's narrative. RDG Tech also satisfies the general use criteria provided in the ordinance. So in conclusion, we request that the zoning hearing board approve the special exception requested in the application at hand. And we will now turn it back over to the board to ask any questions of myself or either of our witnesses here tonight who are here in support of the application.
And you also had a variance request, if necessary, from the number of parking based on students and faculty, correct?
Yes, as an alternative, but just for the record, we don't believe that that would be necessary because of the staggering of the students, and the definition in the ordinance for off-street parking provides the number of spaces that are deemed necessary at peak operating hours. And while there are 100 enrollees, they will not all be on premises at one time. And so our position is that the 44 off-street parking spaces, including 6 employee spaces, is ample parking for the peak hours of this operation.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, thank
I
you.
don't have any questions for the attorney or Mr. Weidenhammer or Ms. Emery.
Any board members? I just have one clarification. These are mostly adults that will be there, or older teenagers, somebody like that. Is that mostly what your student body is?
I'll let Mr. Weidenhammer answer that. And I actually had two more questions to ask both of our witnesses before we conclude.
Go ahead.
That's correct. The minimum age is 18 years old, so a lot of these are non-traditional learners, and most do not drive to the school. They take public transportation or walk from the neighborhood.
Okay, thank you. That answers my question. Anybody else on the board? Emily, any questions or comments?
Just a comment that we would prefer to see those 3 lots annexed into one. It makes permitting a lot easier to keep the uses together.
Okay. And that's something that we've requested of other people who have multiple lot units to get that all together. All right.
Okay.
Mr.
Yeah, that's
Clark,
something that we can certainly evaluate.
anything you have, any questions, comments?
I think the attorney for the applicant wanted to ask 2 more questions.
Okay, go ahead, please do.
Yes. My first question is just for Mr. Weidenhammer, and then I have 1 or 2 questions for Miss Emery. Mr. Weidenhammer, are you familiar with the special exception application and all of its attachments that were submitted for this application?
Yes, I've reviewed the whole package.
Okay. And do you generally adopt those the application as accurate and as your own statements herein?
Yes.
Okay. Those are the only questions that I had for Mr. Weidenhammer. Ms. Emery, if I could ask you as well, are you familiar generally with the special exception application that was submitted on your behalf for this application?
Yes, I am.
And do you adopt the comments made therein as your own and as accurate?
Yes, I do.
Okay, those were all the further questions that I had. So if, barring any other questions, that was our full presentation.
Okay.
Thank you.
One last thing, anybody on the board, any comments, questions? Anybody in the audience have any comments or questions? Yes, Mr. Worley.
Yeah, good evening.
Do you want to give us your name and address and who you are? Tell us.
Sure. Yeah, my name is Keegan Worley, Keegan. Last name Worley, Worley. My home address is 59 North Church Road, Warnersville, Pennsylvania, 19565. And I am representing the seller of these parcels. I'm CFO of Standard Offset Printing. We do business by the Standard Group. And I'd just like to, just say some things in support of this. Tech Centro is really an organization that is a positive influence in the community. We moved our operations just 5 years ago, actually. It's been a warehouse and admin offices up until about a year ago, my office until last week. So there's presently nobody in that building. We'd really like to see Tech Centro grow and use those buildings to continue their positive influence in the community.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Anybody in the audience wish to testify for or against granting this application? Seeing none. I'm going to conclude this hearing. We will issue a decision at next month's meeting. You need not be here. The decision will be sent to you. And once again, we thank you for your testimony and the complete information that you sent to us. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Have a
Thank
good
you.
evening.
You
Okay.
too.
All right. Ashley, you okay? All right. The next matter before us is Appeal 2506-0020, 114 Robinson Street. Cyrus Proofs LLC is seeking a dimensional variance from the minimal lot size, maximum building coverage, minimum lot width, rear yard setback, off-street parking requirements, and any other relief required to construct a single-family dwelling. The property is located in the R3 residential zoning district, and the owner of record is the applicant. Would you swear in our zoning officer, please?
Emily, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Has notice for this appeal been given?
It has.
Thank you. Mr. Price?
I'll put some exhibits into the record. Exhibit number 1 is the notice. Exhibit number 2 is proof of publication of the notice. Exhibit number 3 is proof of posting of the notice. Exhibit number 4 is the application, including all of its attachments. And exhibit number 5, pardon me, is the City of Reading zoning ordinance as amended.
Okay, thank you. And I guess, Ms. London, you are representing this group?
I am representing Cyrus Proofs, and I'll enter my appearance. Joan, middle initial E, London, London, Kozloff Stout, 2640 Westview Drive, Wyomissing 19610.
Okay, are you going to have any witnesses, or are you going to just do your offer of proof and then swear?
I will do an offer of proof. Mr. Sampson, who's a member of Cyrus Proofs LLC, owner of the property, and Keith Gibson, the architect, are present. I'd like to have them sworn so that they can answer any questions.
Okay.
Can you both raise your right hands, please? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do. No.
Okay. All right, proceed, please.
All right, I'll give my offer of proof. Mr. Sampson is a member of Cyrus Proofs LLC, which is the owner of the property. The property was purchased earlier this year, as shown by the deed, which was attached to the application. The lot is a vacant lot. There at one time was a house on it. Attached to the application after the deed are 2 photographs, an aerial and a photograph taken from the street, which I see that the zoning officer is sharing. That is the vacant lot, which is at 114 Robinson Street. And the aerial photograph from the Berks County parcel search page is also included with your packet. They show the property, and this was the condition of the property, including the dimensions when Cyrus Proofs purchased the property. The property area per the deed and Berks County records is 1,200 square feet with dimensions of 15 feet wide by 80 feet long. So it is a long, narrow, irregularly shaped lot, which presents a hardship to development. This is in the R3 district, a single family attached residence, which is what is planned and what Mr. Gibson will testify to is a use permitted by right. The variances that we are requesting are dimensional to allow a small home 15 feet wide by 70.3 feet long, approximately 866 square feet, intended for one family. It's our position that it would not negatively impact the character of the neighborhood. It's going to be built to look like others on the block. As you see, there are other single family attached residences in the neighborhood. It will not create any excessive traffic, noise, or overcrowding. It's in an area that is intended for just this type of house. Without the variances being requested from the lot area and setbacks, the owner would not be able to build a viable house or use the property. These are pre-existing conditions of the lot, and there would be positive impacts of granting these variances to get rid of a vacant lot and all of the negative impacts that a vacant lot has on an otherwise occupied block. Mr. Gibson, who is an architect, is here to testify, and I would like him to testify to the plans. He's already been sworn, but I would like him to testify as to the plans.
Sure, go ahead, proceed.
Okay, the zoning officer is sharing the plans on the screen. Mr. Gibson, are you employed?
Yes, I am.
By whom are you employed?
Gibson Associates Architecture Planning Interiors.
And how long have you been employed by Gibson Architects?
About 30 years.
Are you a registered architect in good standing in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania?
Yes, I am.
And how long have you been a registered architect in Pennsylvania?
About 40 years.
We'll recognize him as a
Okay,
expert architect.
thank you. I appreciate that. Mr. Gibson, are you familiar with the property at 114 Robinson Street?
Yes, I am.
One thing I would like marked as Exhibit 1, Mr. Gibson's resume, which has been submitted to the board. Mr. Gibson, you provided your resume. Does that reflect your professional experience as an architect?
Yes, it does.
Okay, thank you. Are you familiar with the property at 114 Robinson Street?
Yes.
And how are you familiar with this property?
Well, once I was contacted by the owner, I went to Reading, visited the property, took some pictures, took some dimensions of what was there, which obviously is not much, and took some pictures of the neighborhood and walked around a little bit. So I know a little bit about the neighborhood as well.
Okay, were you present for my offer of proof?
Yes.
And do you agree that the photograph that I showed reflects the surrounding neighborhood?
Yes, yes.
And do you agree with the statements about the lot dimensions of 15 feet wide by 80 feet in length or depth and an area of approximately 1,200 square feet?
Yes,
and
that's correct.
Is this approximately the same area as other properties on the same block?
About the same, yes.
Did you prepare plans for a single family attached residence on this property for Cyrus Proofs?
Yes, I did.
Okay, now the plans are attached are on the screen, and are these the drawings that you prepared?
Yes, they are.
And can you describe the proposed house and its dimensions and features?
Well, yes, it's a 3-story single-family home with a garage on the first floor, kitchen, living area, and a powder room with mechanical spaces. On the second floor, there are 3 bedrooms, a full bath, and then on the third floor, there's an additional bedroom and bath.
Okay. And would this house, in terms of size and dimensions and setbacks, be compatible with others on the block?
Yes, it would.
And would a house of any smaller size be viable?
I would say no.
Okay, is this house about 866 square feet?
Well, that's the coverage about the area that it's covering, but no, the exact square footage of the house is somewhere, including all floors, is around 2,000 square feet.
Okay, but not all of that is livable area, is that correct?
No, it's not.
And part of that is a garage to provide for off-street parking. Is that also correct? Will there, in your opinion, be any negative impacts on the community, such as noise, traffic, or overcrowding, if the variances are granted to allow the construction of this house?
No, it would not.
And why not?
Well, that's exactly what the neighborhood is. It's single-family homes. I think, if anything, this would be, I hate to use the word better, but it'll provide an off-street parking space, which the other houses do not. So I believe it'll blend very well with the rest of the neighborhood and be an asset to the neighborhood.
And are the variances being requested the minimum required to make use of this lot?
Yes.
In your opinion, are there physical conditions of the lot which prevent it from being developed in accordance with the zoning ordinance and regulations?
Well, due to it being undersized and narrow, I would say no. I mean, nothing can go on it and still comply with the zoning ordinance.
Okay, are all of the opinions that you've given this evening rendered with a reasonable degree of professional certainty?
Yes.
Okay. I don't have any further questions for Mr. Gibson.
Okay. Any board members have any questions of Mr. Gibson?
Nope.
Mr. Fox, I do have a question.
Yeah, can we put Mr. Fox on the screen, please? Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Fox.
Can you tell me how that garage is accessed?
When you say access, you're talking about from the house?
No, how does the car get into the garage?
Through a garage door that will open.
Well, you're being funny now. How do you drive from the front of the house to the back to get to the garage?
You can't.
It's accessed by an alley, Tom.
Well, he didn't say that. Is that what is that what the answer is?
Then I misunderstood the question. I thought you asked, how does one access the house?
No, I said the garage. I didn't mean to say the house. I did. The garage. How do they access it from the street?
To access the garage from the street, they're going to open the garage door, they're going to pull in, and then they have to go out of the garage and into the house.
If you look at the drawings of the site plan, there is an alley that accesses the rear garage door. That's how they get in.
No, actually, correction. So
Yeah.
the garage is in the front of
The
the property,
garage is
correct,
in the
Mr.
front.
Gibson?
Yeah.
So there would need to be a curb cut that would be made to go into the garage.
Okay, and would that have to be cleared with, would that have to be cleared with Public Works, Emily?
Yes, regardless of any relief that the board gives, it's the Department of Public Works that will ultimately issue the driveway permit.
All right.
Okay. Do you have any other questions, Tom?
No, I didn't aware of that, and I don't think the architect was aware of that. At least he didn't give that to me at first, but I understand it now.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Any other board members? Questions, comments? Emily?
No questions.
Steve?
No, it's just, I was confused because on the one drawing, it shows that there's an alley up to the garage, but I guess that's a different alley. I don't know.
I think that references the Baker's Alley between the properties.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Anybody in the audience have any questions of Mr. Gibson? All right, seeing none. Okay, if you'd like to continue.
Yes, I would like Mr. Sampson to testify briefly. He's already been sworn. Mr. Sampson, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Yes, I can.
Mr. Sampson, you heard my offer of proof. And do you agree with the statements that I made as true and correct?
Yes, I do.
And if you were asked questions, would you answer the same way?
Yes, I will.
So do you adopt that as your testimony?
Yes, I do.
All right. And you also heard Mr. Gibson's testimony?
Yes, I did. Yes.
And you agree that those are the plans that were shared on the screen are the plans for the single family attached house that you would intend to build on the property?
Yes, they have.
Right. I don't have anything further for Mr. Sampson.
Okay. Do you have anything else you would like to add, or?
Are you asking that of Mr. Sampson or of me?
Anybody?
No.
All right. Okay, anybody in the audience have any questions of the people that testified? Seeing nobody. Anybody in the audience want to testify for the granting of the application or testify against granting for the application? Seeing none. So unless anybody has anything else they would like to add, I'm going to conclude this appeal. We'll issue a decision at next month's meeting. You need not be here. The decision will be mailed to you. And we thank you for the presentation and the good information. All right. We're going to do the next appeal is 2506-0021, 928 Perry Street. Cyrus Proofs LLC is seeking a dimensional variance from the minimum lot size, minimum lot width, off-street parking requirements, and any other relief required to construct a single-family dwelling. The property is located in the R3 residential zoning district, and the owner of record is the applicant. Would you swear in our zoning officer, please?
Emily, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Has notice for this appeal been given?
It has.
Mr. Price?
Thanks. I'll put some exhibits into the record. Exhibit number 1 is the notice. Exhibit number 2 is proof of publication of the notice. Exhibit number 3 is proof of posting of the notice. Exhibit number 4 is the application, including all of its attachments. And exhibit number 5 is the zoning ordinance of the city of Reading as amended.
Okay, and we will proceed as we did the last time.
Okay. I'll enter my appearance for Cyrus Proofs LLC, Joan, middle initial E, London, London, Kozloff Stout, 2640 Westview Drive, Wyomissing, 19610. The facts and the variances requested are very similar to 114 Robinson. But I will go through the elements of the offer of proof. Mr. Sampson is here, as is Mr. Gibson. Mr. Sampson is a member of Cyrus Proofs LLC, which purchased 928 Perry Street as per the deed, which is attached with the application. This is also a vacant lot. The house on this lot was destroyed by fire in 2017. Attached with the application is a printout of a newspaper article regarding the fire, and there is a photograph of the burnout structure, which thankfully has since been removed. To tell you more about the dimensions of the property has an area of approximately 1,400 square feet, which is a pre-existing condition, but less than the 1,800 square feet minimum lot size required in the R3 zoning district. It is a long, narrow lot, 14 feet wide, less than the 15-foot minimum lot width, by 100 feet long approximately, again, presenting a physical condition, which is a hardship to development. Cyrus Proofs wants to build a 3-story single-family home. That would be an attached home like others on the block. It would be built to look similarly to the others on the block. The residents, if the variance is allowed, would not create any excessive traffic, overcrowding, noise, or other negative impacts. This is an R3 district in which the single family attached home is a use permitted by right, and the variances being requested are dimensional only. The lot pre-existed at the 1,400 square feet and the 14 feet in width. And it's our position that there will be a positive impact from the grant of these variances by putting a house on a vacant lot. I'm going to ask Mr. Gibson to testify. He'll, I guess, being a separate case, he will need to be sworn, as should Mr. Sampson.
Okay, can you both raise your right hands, please? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
Okay, I'll have Mr. Gibson testify first. Are you employed by Gibson Architects?
Yes, I am.
You can just admit them, John. We already.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I've given to the board Mr. Gibson's resume, which is marked as applicant Exhibit 1. Mr. Gibson, does that reflect your professional experience as an architect?
Yes, it is.
All right, and he has already been qualified as an expert. Are you familiar with the property at 928 Perry Street?
Yes, I am.
And how are you familiar with this property?
Similar to the other one, I visited the property, spent a little time in the neighborhood, took some pictures, took some measurements of what exists, which obviously is not much. So that's how.
So were you present for my offer of proof?
Yes, I was.
And do you agree with me on the lot dimensions of 14 feet wide by 100 feet in length and an area of approximately 1,400 square feet?
Yes, I do.
And
do
is this approximately the same area as other properties on that same block?
Yes.
Did you prepare plans for a single family attached residence on this property for the applicant?
Yes, I have.
All right, and I see the zoning officer has put the plans up on the screen. Looking at what has been shared on the screen, are those the plans that you prepared for 928 Perry Street?
Yes, they are.
And can you describe what those plans show for the proposed single-family attached residence, including dimensions?
Yes, well, it's a three-story residential single-family structure that is going to be attached. Similar to the other one, the first floor, I guess I shouldn't say that. The first floor has a garage, carport, mechanical space, bathroom, closets, kitchen, dining, and a living area in the back, overlooking the open area in the back. Second floor is 2 bedrooms with a full bath, closet. And then the third floor is this similar in that there are 2 bedrooms, a bathroom, and a large closet.
Will this house, if the variances are granted, in terms of size and setbacks, be compatible with others on the block?
Yes, it will.
And would a house of any lesser size be viable?
I don't believe so.
Will, in your opinion, there be any negative impacts on the surrounding community, such as noise, traffic, or overcrowding, if the variances were to be granted?
No, it's the same kind of structure that exists on the block, so I would say no.
And are the variances being requested the minimum variances required to make use of this lot?
Yes, they are.
In your opinion, are there physical conditions of the lot which prevent it from being developed in accordance with the zoning ordinance?
Well, it's a very tight lot, and with the setbacks and lot coverage, no, I don't see how that would work.
Do you believe that there will be positive impacts if the board would grant these variances and the house can be built on the site?
Yes, I do believe it would be positive. It would be getting rid of an empty lot, which is never a good thing for a neighborhood. And the building is going to be very similar to the adjacent property. So no, I think it would be an asset.
And are all opinions that you've given this evening rendered with a reasonable degree of professional certainty?
Yes, they are.
All right, I have no further questions for Mr. Gibson.
Okay, anybody on the board have any questions of Mr. Gibson?
Yes, I have a question.
Go ahead.
We went sort of fast on this. When you described, you said going to be a similar situation. There's going to be a garage / carport. What do you mean by that? And are there any other on that block? Are there any other garage / carports?
No, there are not.
So is this going to be requesting a curb cut?
Yes.
Okay, because I didn't ask that for the last house, and I should have. I was remiss. Were there any on that street, on Robinson Street, since I have you here, were there any other houses on that street that have an entrance?
Not that I'm aware of. No.
Okay, thank you.
I have another question, sir.
Go ahead.
Do you plan to sell these, or are you planning to rent these as single homes?
Who was your question toward?
Does your company plan to sell these on the market, or do you plan to rent them as single homes?
Mr. Fox, Mr. Sampson would be the better one to testify as to that, and I will have him answer that question. I'll have him testify.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will plan to rent them.
You're going to rent them?
Single family homes, yes, sir.
You're going to rent them?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
I do have a question for Mr. Gibson, then just real quick.
go ahead.
Just if you could clarify, what is going to be the building coverage for this property?
The building coverage is roughly 840 square feet. That's what's covering the land.
Okay.
And we have asked for variances on both, I believe, from building coverage.
Okay, just because I just want to make sure that everything it kind of coordinates, just because 840 is the 60%, and so if it's only going to be, if there only 840 square feet of the lot, you know, is going to be covered by a building or a structure, you wouldn't necessarily need relief from that. So I just want to make sure that if it's going to go over that, that we're requesting the correct.
Yeah, actually, for 928 Perry, we are not asking for variances from the building coverage. We're asking for variances from the minimum lot size and the lot width requirements, but not coverage. The 114 Robinson, I believe that is, I'm just looking at the application to see. Yeah, the application, we asked for a variance from the 1,800 square feet minimum lot size, the 20-foot rear yard setback, which may not be necessary, and for the maximum building coverage there, which would allow 720 square feet, where our proposed building coverage is 866.41 square feet, which is approximately 72%.
Okay. Okay, just wanted to make sure, I don't know if maybe I did some of my math wrong, but when a minor land development plan will be required for this one and the Robinson Street one. So just want to make sure that the coverages, that the dimensions on the plan match what the coverage tables indicate.
Okay, well, that'll be confirmed.
Okay, thank you. And then just again, the driveway permit ultimately gets approved by the Public Works Department.
Yes, we understand that.
That's all I have.
Okay. All right, Mr. Price, anything?
Nothing, sir.
All right, anybody in the audience, any questions? Just questions? All right. Anybody in the audience wish to testify for or against granting this application?
I would like to have Mr. Sampson sworn, since he did give testimony, and just I'd like him to
That's fine.
adopt the offer of proof.
Yes, please do that.
I already did swear him in when I swore in the other gentleman.
You did? Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Sampson, were you present and heard and understood the offer of proof I gave and Mr. Gibson's testimony?
Yes, I was.
And if you were asked similar questions regarding those matters, would you give the same answers?
Yes, I will.
And do you adopt that as your testimony?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And Mr. Fox had asked you about rental of the property. Was that correct, that you would be would that be correct for both properties, 114 Robinson and 928?
Yes, it will be.
Okay. I don't have anything further.
I do have one question, and I should have asked this, and this is a question for Mr. Gibson. When you designed those properties, was there any way that the garage could have been put to the rear of that property and that the person renting it or buying it would have access? I'm sure there was a reason that you decided to put the garage in the front. But I want to clarify, is there any way that the garage could have been put in, when you designed it, to the rear of those properties and people would have had access?
Well, I did not think of, well, I did look at that, but to access the back of the property is, I don't know how you would get a car into the back of the property, as well as what I was trying to do was to be able to have the living area of the house look out onto a grassed green area in the backyard. If there was a parking space or a garage back there, then all of the lot would be covered, and I was trying not to do that.
Okay, thank you. You answered my question. That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah, good question.
Also, just if on the screen, this is the rear of that block, and it's so there is no alley or
It's a
vehicular
walkway, yeah.
to the rear of these property. And it's the same for Robinson Street. There is no alley behind that block of Robinson Street.
Okay, thank you very much for that clarification. All right, anybody else have anything? If not, I'm going to conclude this hearing. We thank all of you for your participation, and we thank you for the good testimony and drawing. So that concludes this. We'll issue a decision next month's meeting. You need not be here. It will be mailed to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Thanks.
All right. Last matter before us, Appeal 2506-0022, 1001 Scott Street. The Reading Housing Authority is seeking a special exception approval to adaptively reuse the existing building and expand the use from offices and community center to include a grocery store, a food pantry, kitchen, and classrooms. In the alternative, the applicant is seeking special exception approval to expand the existing non-conforming use and any other relief required to use the space for the proposed uses. The property is located in the R3 zoning district, and the owner of record is the applicant. Would you swear in our zoning officer, please?
Emily, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Has notice for this appeal been given?
It has.
Thank you. Mr. Price?
Here, I'll put some exhibits into the record. Exhibit number 1 is the notice. Exhibit number 2 is proof of publication of the notice. Exhibit number 3 is proof of posting of the notice. Exhibit number 4 is the application, including all of its attachments. And exhibit number 5 is the zoning ordinance of the city of Reading as amended.
Okay, thank you. Is the Housing Authority represented by counsel?
Ed Stock, I believe.
Okay.
Yes, it's Edwin Stock, Alfie LLC, 50 North 5th Street, 4th floor, Reading, PA 19601, attorney for Reading Housing Authority.
Okay, thank you. If you're going to have anybody testify, we'll swear them in first. If we use them, fine. If we don't, that's fine too. And then you.
Yeah, I have several people here. Stacy Keppen, who is the president and CEO of the Housing Authority. David Tallarica, who's the vice president of the Housing Authority. If needed, Theodore Vidoc, who is the project architect.
Okay, so why don't we swear them in?
Can you all raise your right hands, please? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, if you want to do an offer of proof, that's fine, however you wish to do it.
Yeah, I was planning to offer proof. So Reading Housing Authority is a housing authority which among its various developments owns and operates Oak Brook Homes, which consists of 531 units of housing, and Sylvania of 120 units of housing.
You're breaking up a little bit, Deb.
Yeah, I'm having a difficult time.
Can you hear me better now?
Yep.
Okay. The Housing Authority at Oak Brook in Sylvania houses about 2,000 residents, which includes 800 children. I have Anders Smith from the Housing Authority on the line. Anders, if you could put up applicant exhibit number 2. So applicant exhibit number 2 is a overview of what we refer to South Campus, which includes Brook and Sylvania homes. And in the middle of the screen, you'll see an area where there were 2 buildings, or are 2 buildings. Family Services Center that used to a boiler house for Oak Brook that was decommissioned a number of years ago. That has been repurposed into a daycare and a management office for the Housing Authority. We were before the Zoning Hearing Board about 3 years ago to get some relief for that building, which relief was granted. The daycare will be operated by Opportunity House and is primarily intended to serve the residents of Oak Brook and Sylvania. There's a lot of single head of household families in the developments, and daycare is a critical need to allow the head of household to work. Next to the Family Services Center is a building that we refer to as Neighborhood Resource Center. That's the subject of tonight's application. That building has historically been used for a variety of different uses, for offices, community meeting space, a computer center, Head Start operated programs out of that building for many years. So we actually believe what we're really doing here, proposing to do here, is just a continuation of a multi-purpose use facility as has been historically used in the past. Anders, if you could put up applicant exhibit number 3, please. So this is applicant exhibit 3 is a site plan, a lot of lines on it, but in the lower right-hand corner is the Neighborhood Resource Center property, and above that is the Family Services Center building. It's important to note that the overall project actually substantially increased the available parking. There are now 52 total spaces located on the site. And this was an addition of 39 additional spaces from the parking that existed previously. So we believe there's, the parking meets, the requirements that would be applicable to the Neighborhood Resource Center. Anders, if you could put up applicant exhibit number 4, please. So this is a floor plan of the Neighborhood Resource Center. In the lower left-hand corner, 438 square feet. That's the space that's proposed for the grocery. The grocery will be operated by Delania Herrera, who's actually on the present tonight, pursuant to a lease with the Housing Authority. The intent of the grocery, and it's, obviously a relatively small space, but the intent of the grocery is to allow the sale of fresh fruits and vegetables, health, household items, and baked goods. The lease specifically prohibits the sale of alcohol, lottery tickets, skill games, no tobacco products. So it's really intended to, and because it's centrally located in the Oak Brook Homes Sylvania campus, it's really designed to, give the residents of Oak Brook and Sylvania ready walking access to a small grocery, and hopefully it will help provide healthy meals to their families and specifically to the 800 children that live in Oak Brook. Most, we anticipate that virtually all of the traffic that will frequent the grocery store will be foot traffic. And, it's not really designed to, to attract people from, off campus, although it, potentially could. The hours would be, I believe, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., 7 days a week. And as I said, the operator would be Delania Herrera, who is the owner of El Encanto Bakery. She has a presence already in the city and is well established, and I believe well known for providing high quality service and high quality products. She was selected as a vendor through a request for proposal process, and was very thoroughly screened by Housing Authority staff to be the operator. The other uses on the first floor, continuation of existing. There's the 143 square foot office will be the Oak Brook residential office. The office immediately above the grocery will be the gentleman from the Housing Authority who is running the Neighborhood Resource Center. The two offices in the lower right-hand corner are space that will primarily be utilized by outside service providers to provide various social service work or programmatic efforts primarily to residents of the Housing Authority and possibly some outside folks as well, but primarily to the Housing Authority people. And then there's the community meeting room, which is 1,400 feet. That is envisioned to be primarily used by, residents and services and programs for residents. This building at one point actually had a stage in it. So it's historically been utilized as, a community space. It's just been renovated and somewhat repurposed. Andrew, applicant exhibit number 4. Or, sorry, applicant exhibit 5, please. So this is the lower level. There's additional meeting space or community room down there, about 900 and some square feet. There's a space here for food pantry, 376 square feet. The Housing Authority has historically operated a food pantry in the parking lot outside of this building. By being able to move it inside, the service will be enhanced. The plan is to have the food pantry operated by Helping Harvest. The food pantry will only be accessible by Housing Authority tenants. Although the hours are to be determined, I think Ms. Keppen and her staff envision the food pantry being open 3 days a week, and the hope is to open that soon. So again, we see this really as a continuation of the use of this building as a space to primarily serve the community. There is also an office area downstairs. Let me just check my notes here. That's pretty much what you see on the screen there. Anders, if you could put up applicant exhibit number 6, please. So this is a front elevation of the building. That we're requesting permission to have a small amount of signage in the windows of the grocery is depicted on this exhibit. You can see it would be, limited to just the upper of the 2 windows that front the grocery store. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, the office on the lower level would be used have computer technology in it that residents would be able to access. For example, a resident would be able to take GED classes utilizing the technology in the office on the lower level. And as I mentioned, the parking has been substantially expanded. So the Housing Authority, as I said, we really see this as just a continuation of the use of the building for community purposes. We actually have a certificate of occupancy from the city for the building. That would be applicant exhibit number 1. And I can submit these exhibits to Mr. Price in a packet. And we also, we have, obviously permitted this through the city. Exhibits 7, 8, 9, and 10 all relate to the plans and the permitting. And, the use of the space as a grocery store and as a food pantry and otherwise, as I've described, has been, always disclosed on the plans. What occurred was the plan was to open the grocery store approximately 2 weeks ago, and zoning flagged the grocery store and indicated that we should seek zoning relief for it, which caused us to submit the application, and that's why we're here tonight. But otherwise we are, fully operational with the building. I am going to try to be a little presumptuous and ask, because, like I said, the grocery store, Ms. Herrera is ready to begin operation as soon as legally permitted. And I was, in light of the fact that the zoning issue only came to light, at the very late hour of this project, I was going to ask if the board would vary its normal procedure and at least verbally issue a on our application.
Okay, I'll speak to that. Normally, we do not do that. But I think we understand sometimes there's special circumstances. So here's what we usually do. I will poll the board and say, would you consider voting on this matter this evening? And if they say, yes, we'll consider voting on it, then I will ask them to vote on the matter. So it's kind of a two-step process. I can't guarantee you that, you'll get.
I understand. I know I'm asking for special relief here. I appreciate that.
Well, before we get to that point, there's two things I would like to raise. I saw that you did have on the drawings you showed us tonight, the square footage of certain rooms, which was something that was missing, I think, at some point in the project. And I don't know if you supplied to zoning the number of employees for the classroom space and the number of students that might be there, because that's some information that they might, that they really need to have. And I don't know, did you supply that to zoning? Maybe Emily can address that, or you can address it. But
I can ask Ms. Keppen to address that, Mr. Rubina.
Okay. Go ahead.
As Mr. Stock explained, the use of the classrooms will vary depending upon the programs. For example, there was a program that was delivered by the local food trust where there were 12 participants in the classroom. There may be other programs where there may be 20 students attending. So it's all dependent upon the nature of the program.
Okay, so you're on the record with that then. Thank you. All right, let's start here. Any member of the board have any questions of Mr. Stock? I can't see anybody, so if you want to put all the people back up, please.
Anders, you can take the plan down, Anders. Thank you.
Okay. All right, any board members have any questions? All right,
No.
Emily, any questions, comments?
If I can just, the floor plans that I have don't have the square footage listed of each of those individual rooms. So I'm gonna need that.
Okay. Mr. Price?
I have no questions.
All right. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna suggest, and I'm kind of addressing this to the board. We know that there's some issues with parking that haven't been addressed, and we know some square footage and so forth. So pending the fact that they would get that to the zoning office, whatever, I'm gonna ask this question. I'll make a motion. Would the board consider voting on this evening? I'd like each one of you to answer individually. Jared?
Yeah, I'd be all right with that.
Okay. Charlie?
Yes, that's fine with me.
Jeff?
Yeah.
Tom?
Yes,
I'm okay with it also. All right. Now, I will make a motion to approve the appeal pending some of the information that we need. So do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, thank you. So all those in favor of the application, say aye.
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 Opposed? All right, seeing none. Okay, what I would say is you get that stuff to the Emily ASAP. So,
Emily, and then if you could give me a call tomorrow morning,
Okay.
okay?
Yep.
all right. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Doc,
Thank you.
anything else you have to say?
No, just thank you.
Okay. All right. So anybody, yeah, I didn't ask if anybody in the audience had any comments, questions, or whether they wanted to approve it or not, but I don't believe there's anybody in the audience. So anyway, we thank you. That concludes this appeal. It concludes our meeting for Wednesday, July the 9th. We will see you the second Wednesday of August. And we thank all of you for your participation. And Emily,